When the regiments walked here, that would have been the entrance to Allen Street, named after Matthew Allen, who was one of the early settlers of Hartford. The home of Timothy Allen was on this street. He was the mayor of Hartford from 1858 to 1860. He hosted Abraham Lincoln in 1860. Timothy Allen was also the owner of the Allen House Hotel. Built in 1857, it was Hartford's most luxurious hotel. As the men walked back towards the corner of Humble and Asylum to see the relatively new Allen House Hotel. Today, it's the Hartford Courant, which is a 36-story luxury apartment building built in 2006. Keep going. We're approaching the corner of Trumbull Street and Church Street. At that corner, turn left and cross the street. Continue on Church Street.
Yeah, right? It's going inside out.
Intersection. Then probably to the left, at the corner of Church Street and Andrew Street, St. Andrew's Roman Catholic Church. The church was first built in 1850. The fire was still there in 1845. So a new church was built on the same site in 1876. In 1950, a fire dedicated to could be rebuilt again, but the pain will rebuild of the while not the same building, the men of Connecticut Colored Regiment would have seen the original church on that very spot. In 1984, the building was added to the National Registry of Historic Places. Now, let's get going. Turn right and cross Church Street. Once across, continue along the right-hand side of Andrew Street. Continue walking straight along Andrew Street. In 1865, when soldiers were walking this route, This street was called Ann Street. In 2008, the name was changed to Ann Uccello Street in honor of the former Hartford mayor. Ann Uccello was an Italian-American woman who in 1967 became the first female mayor in the state's history. She won re-election in 1969, serving until 1971. She was then
That's a lot of what the black is part of the
the men arrived at Main Street, they would have actually arrived a lot of time ago, which means they have seen the King and Eli mansion on Main Street. Henry and Walter King were wealthy businessmen who inherited Henry's Richmond. Henry called out of the Western Land business. He did land, but the creation of food. A wealthy sugar merchant owned 2 ranches on Main Street. Now the famous racer and merchandise. Those times are no longer there, but the men of Connecticut Colored Regiment still walk past them, focusing on hospitality. To me, is something going hard, home of the Hartford Courant, the experience of the Colorado Regiment. Connecticut Colored Regiment would have seen the representation of Hartford's blood as they walked this stitch of the river. Everyone walking straight. Approaching the corner of Main Street and Trump. Cross the street ahead of you to continue walking straight on Main Street. I'll speak to you more in a bit.
But I had to figure out that that's what it was. That's the spot.
So we'll have Dave Norman. So we'll have Dave. We'll have Dr. Right? And Dave really came with both the finish line, but also the and then we'll have no. And then Dave.
Continue walking straight on Main Street and cross Morgan Street when you come to it. As an interesting note, you'll notice you just passed Chapel Street North behind you on the right, which turns into Morgan Street North behind you on the left. When the men of Connecticut Colored Regiments walked through, Chapel Street ended a block to your right. Therefore, Chapel Street North and Morgan Street North did not exist. Ahead of you, you'll notice you're coming up on Chapel Street South on your right, which turns into Morgan Street South on your left. When the men of Connecticut Colored Regiments walked here, Chapel Street South did not exist. Morgan Street South existed when it was simply called Morgan Street, which ended the intersection of Main and Morgan. Continue walking straight on Main Street.
There you are.
In 2 minutes, you'll see Hartford Street on the left. You'll continue on Main Street, but the former location of the Hartford Street Church is at the bottom of Hartford Street. In 1890, due to being forced to set up a back of other churches in the area, Hartford's black community began holding services in the first church of Christ County, now Clinton. By 1820, the congregation moved the area on 5th Street and established itself as the African American Religious Society of Hartford, representing all the Alabama people. In 1826, they founded Hartford Courant, during the same big street, it became a great community worship and economic development. In 1832, Reverend Alex Breanne became the first pastor of Hartford Street Church. and established the first school for black youth at a time when few places in Hartford offered such opportunity. Orator and fugitive enslaved man Reverend Dr. James W.C. Pennington also served as a pastor. For a 3-day period starting June 8, 1835, Black arrived for the youth African Americans to visit in the spirit of new Episcopalian congregation, which led black people to seek other places to worship. That said, it stands as a sign which would have caught the eye of the men as they might. Keep going.
I spent the summer in college working at the Region Health Schoolhouse. So then I was I've never been there. Yeah. But I've been Right, yeah. Right.
The state was also offering an additional $30 paid at $10 every 4 weeks. The state also agreed to pay each enlisted man an additional $6 per month if they had a wife, and $2 for each child under age 14. If they had kids but no wife, they would be paid $6 for the first child and $2 for each subsequent child under age 14. 5 days after General Order No. 16 was issued, the Connecticut Attorney General's office issued General Order No. 17 entitled "For Connecticut Colored Volunteers." This new general order indicated that the federal government did not need to provide a volunteer life. So this laws did not include the $300 from the federal government, nor the $3 for the subsequently is only known about General Order No. 16. Therefore, with this approach, it is discovered they cannot receive $100. Also, some of them had served before. They were not allowed to veteran enrollment. For their monthly pay, that language was within 80 of 8, 13 hours a month.
It was an acupuncture stop. It was weird.
It wasn't really painful.
No, but definitely a little element of pain. And I'm not sure how much it was.
It's okay. I just had this thought all of a sudden, like,
Never went there. Capital One's taking this place.
actually out front here and things.
Max's. Technically the front. Oh.
You get shot by others. Check the pedestrian crosswalk button and wait until instructed to proceed. Then, crossing the second continue walking straight on these. At the time the new Connecticut Colored Regiment walked this area of Hartford, it was considered the center of the city. This area surrounding the old state house was the primary business district. Just ahead of us on the left side of Main Street, is the post office. Further down was the first building established for the insurance business. Directly across the street from Connecticut State used to be Hartford Courant, a building the men would see. In 1889, 34 years after the men were here, the first California war was installed in the Hartford Courant. It used to be for Richmond and Hartford. There were 10 Italian solid compound rented by 13 Connecticut natives William Buckingham. A plaque exists on the building that sits there today. The two connecting you are approaching the ancient barrier.
The Bible says that God commended His love toward us, and that while we were sinners, Christ died for us. We can be made a child of God again by faith in Christ Jesus. Folks, church can't save you, sacraments can't save you, but the Bible says that Jesus Christ alone can save your soul. Folks, you might live 60, 70 years. You might live 80, 90 years. But someday this life will
also
come to an
known
end.
as Center
What
Church.
matters is
This is the oldest church congregation in Hartford, founded in 1636 by Thomas
But
Hood.
on the foundation.
As mentioned earlier in the tour, Hartford's African American community began holding services in a conference room of this church in 1819 due to being forced to sit at the back of other churches in the area. In 1843, the minister of the church, Reverend Dr. Joel Hawes, welcomed Frederick Douglass, who spoke from the front porch of the church, delivering his first anti-slavery speech in Hartford. Both the ancient burial grounds and Center Church are stops on Connecticut Street. When you're ready, continue walking straight on Main Street and cross Wall Street in the country. Continue walking straight on Main Street. As you walk, directly to your left is the Wadsworth Amphitheater, America's first public art museum, housing over 50,000 contemporary works of art. Completed in 1844, the site is comprised of 5 buildings, and only the main building at the corner would have existed in 1865 as the men walked by. A relatively new building at the time, I imagine the men of Connecticut's colored regiments looked upon the Gothic revival stone structure of the building with awe. Try to imagine what it must have been like for the men, hearing the cheers of citizens while also gazing upon the impressive architecture of the Wadsworth Amphitheater. Keep going. Continue straight on Main Street. While some of the men of Connecticut Colored Regiments were ready, some were not. Connecticut was one of the latter states to approve of colored regiments. Therefore, many of Connecticut's black men had already joined colored regiments at those states. While the state too started the colored regiment early, as the to the city of
Many blessings. That's great. Where's he going? So there's a lot of unlearning that needs to happen for progressive white people like me like that. Maybe it's something that other people think like that.
What's that?
Like it didn't get to say the same thing congregation. I'd like to see, and I said I'd like to. He said, "Oh, you're I'd like to see you." She can get to know. That's the real thing.
Later in his memoir, Isaac speaks of seeing a black soldier in battle, shot in the head, but still alive. He positioned the man against a tree, then returned to his post. He returned later to find one walker on his tennis ground. Fierce life, Isaac wrote, the complexion and rank of a man have a great value. There is great distinction among the women. Along with the bravery and death, the terror had the colored regiment keep going. The yellow and green home is the Buckingham Courthouse in Hartford. Built in 1782, it's one of the oldest surviving buildings in Hartford. For over 189 years, this was home to 4 generations. Today, the circular museum offers tours of Hartford. Visitors learn about the Cook family and their interest during the late 19th century.
You know, and so I feel like once we get that, then we're gonna tie that inside the rule out. Some of you missed the virtual meeting.
Yes.
There was a really interesting conversation there.
We had talked about this a bit, and I think that where my head is at now is I'd like to talk to professor
is the location of the Charlotte River, a large white oak tree used in 1687 to hide the colony's child. Hidden in the trunk during a dispute with the English to prevent it from being obtained by the royal authority. The Charlotte Oak fell during the Civil War in 1856, so it would not have been there when the soldiers arrived at this spot. A large monument sits there today, marking its former location. Directly next to you, to your right, is Buckingham Square Park. A meeting house once stood here. In 1670, a group of 31 members from Center Church met here to discuss separating from the church due to differences. In 1673, their church was built further south, known then as Second Church of Christ. You can see their current building directly across the street. Built in 1827 and known today as South Congregational Church, this building would have existed exactly as it appears today when the men of the 29th and 30th Regiments approached this corner. They would have seen exactly what you see. When you're ready, turn right onto Buckingham Street and continue walking. continued straight on Buckingham Street. As a side note, Buckingham Street was not named after Governor William Buckingham. It was named after Joseph Buckingham, treasurer of the early Connecticut Colored and son of the second pastor of Second Church of Christ. The church is just off the corner of Buckingham and Main. Buckingham Street appears on maps as early as 1640, upon Hartford Courant. Known for Christian rock, this story of Buckingham Street follows Buckingham Street, which is playing around the identity, hierarchy, and This is the Cross Hudson in front of you and continue walking straight on Buckingham Street once across. An interesting aspect of the men of Connecticut Colored Regiment is many were descendants of black men who fought in the Revolutionary War. For example, in Virginia, a monument is at the Flower Hall, a location that is called Great Fine Point of Connecticut Colored Regiment organized. On the monument,
well done. Go 29.
Yeah. Woohoo.
Seven of the grandsons of their sisters fought in the civil war. 6,000 years. Carry on. Continue walking straight on Buckingham Street. Another family with a legacy of service is the Starr family. Robin Starr was enslaved in Danbury, Connecticut to Josiah Starr. During the Revolutionary War, Robin enlisted with the 7th Connecticut Regiment on June 2, 1777. His enslaver agreed to allow him to buy his freedom for 40 pounds, which is nearly $9,000 today. Using his Revolutionary War wages, Robin paid 22 pounds of the total. In 1781, he returned, only to discover his enslaver had died. But this did not absolve him of the debt. Therefore, he paid the children and grandchildren of his enslaver the remaining 18 pounds. Robin then went back to war. He was discharged in June of 1783. Robin would eventually be given the badge of merit by George Washington for his 6 years of faithful service. Many years later, his mom, and child all
There. And we were talking. And then we went to he said Tuesday. We were like, yes, Tuesday? He's like, yeah, we also have a 3-day grace period. We're like, so it's Tuesday.
I thought you only had time on Friday. That's not yours.
Yeah.
So why would we do it Tuesday?
That's what we were saying. But thank you.
So maybe she jumped to it.
No, she's being serious. She's a joke around. You heard, yeah, that's what that was the recording. I re-recorded that one like 10 times. That it was so bad.
So that was the first one that you sent us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
I
were
didn't send that into the speaker.
okay, that's what
I heard it and I was like, this is so bad. And let me screen record it so I can keep this before I delete it. And
I do that.
I started with just like and I did the 8 a.m. tonight. Because now I'm already like, I'm already like, and also high school, I woke up earlier. Everyone talks about and like, I just get it. Yes, but it ends. That one is when I this one ends at 4:45.
Oh, okay.
So if I'm going home on Friday.
Yeah, that's why I was asking about the tuition. I thought you had that done. Yeah, you took your classes before you actually paid the tuition. So was that just all done now? You supposed to be talking?
I mean, essentially, it's not like final until like I drop it over. Like once the semester.
Yeah, no. But, I mean, you pick the classes for next semester.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, really?
I didn't feel like I had a specific
Double duty.
Yes. Yeah. Right, and I want, when you do it in the app, checks off like how many you did each week. Yeah.
This would not only be the first monument in the state of Connecticut to include all known members of Connecticut Colored Regiment. We would exist along the route in many ways on November 24th, 1865. We hope to gain a clue. Stay tuned. Keep walking.
Yeah. What was the Iron One?
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm struggling to figure out how they're doing it. Was about like temporary rights.
Members of the Connecticut Colored Regiment.
Yeah, right. And then the other article kind of honoring that, and accepting it as part of the journey of getting to this.
So like, it's kind of opposite. Like, I was not really like Iron Lung
Right, and it's about preventing it. Yeah. Right,
Yes.
because
That's how I
There you go.
there you go. There's I know, I just ramble on and on and on.
Right, because it's like,
Next, in this picture, was the mansion of Alex Breanne Corporation, who was a member of the Connecticut Colored Regiment from 1838 to 1857. He was also a member of the Connecticut State Senate from 1831 to 1840, and Speaker of the Connecticut House in 1857. He was the father of Morgan Wilson, who later lived in this home. Morgan Wilson would become the first president of baseball's National League in 1876, Hartford mayor from 1880 to 1888, governor of Connecticut from 1889 to 1893, and a U.S. senator from 1905 to 1911. The men of Connecticut's Colored Regiment would have seen his mansion at this approximate location as they passed. Carry on along Washington Street. Keep going. Next, at this approximate location, was the mansion of William W. Eldon, who served as Connecticut's governor from 1838 to 1842. He lived in his mansion in this general area of Washington Street until his death in 1868. His mansion was then purchased by his neighbor next door, Eliphalet Adams Bulkley. Eliphalet's son, William H. Bulkley, would eventually live in this mansion. William would become lieutenant governor of Connecticut from 1881 to 1883. The men of Connecticut's colored regiments would have seen his mansion at this approximate location as they passed. Carry on walking straight.
They would have saw that right there.
This mansion.
It was brand new when they saw it. They had built that. It was built that year. They walked by.
Continue walking straight on Washington Street. Next is the only mansion that is still standing today. To your left, you should see a brick and green home at 130 Washington Street. This building was built in 1865, so the men of Connecticut's colored regiments likely saw this home as a newly built structure. It was the home of Lucius Barber, a name that may be familiar to you if you are into genealogy. His grandson, also named Lucius Barber, was the state examiner of public records. He directed the compilation of the Barber collection of Connecticut vital records. Keep going. As we approach the corner of Washington and Park, we're going to turn left to head back towards Connecticut's old state house. But the men of Connecticut's colored regiment would have turned right, walking 4 blocks to end their home at the Park Street camp on the corner of current-day Park and Lawrence Street. This was a military encampment where the men of the 29th and 30th Connecticut Colored Regiment were mustered out of duty the next day, November 25th, 1865. Let's head back to Connecticut's old state house.
It's a good idea, John.
Turn left.
It's a real good idea. What? You said you're okay with heading back now? Yeah, I'm okay with heading back. I would like to hop on this bus and take it back.
No, Dawn.
Keep going and cross the streets you come to. Connecticut newspaper articles of 1865 commonly indicated that Civil War regiments returning to Connecticut would parade through the streets of Hartford, ending at the Park Street camp. but the actual location of that camp had been lost to time. As indicated prior, Connecticut's Colored Regiment ended their parade at the Park Street camp. I wanted to know exactly where it was so that I could most accurately design this tour. I contacted a group of historians and we began discussing over email. Terry Wilson of the Avon Historical Society provided evidence from Daniel Sterner of Trinity College that troops organized at a camp on the south side of Park Street on property owned by George Penfield. It wasn't clear if this necessarily aligned to the same camp location the 29th ended their parade at, and even if it did, Mr. Penfield owned property on both the north and south side of Park Street. After hours of research, my wife Erica Mills found an article from December 2nd, 1865, indicating some 29th Regiment soldiers stayed behind after payout at the camp at the base of Grand Street, kindling fire for warmth at night. A review of the 1869 map of Hartford provided that location to be the current day corner of Lawrence and Grand Street,
No, we're going to
which
go
is
all the way
George
back to the
Penfield's
State House on the left
property,
side.
as Daniel
And then we're going to go
Sterner
diagonally.
on the north side.
Okay, no more marathon runners as
Now know that was the parade.
no more marathon runners as leaders. We're on our way back.
Thank you to everyone that contributed to this discovery. By the way, the amazing research and videos produced by Daniel Sterner at Trinity College were used extensively in providing information for many areas of this camp, particularly on Washington Street. I'd like to thank Mr. Sterner for his amazing work. To learn more about Hartford, please visit Daniel's YouTube channel, History with Dan Sterner. Carry on a walk.
Watch that. And I'm holding the umbrella for no reason. I was right here when I got home yesterday, so I'm going to check
Jay the Fry guy.
Okay. I'm going to find it.
I'm trying to cover the camera at this point because the drizzle's coming up. It's picking up on us.
You might need the umbrella. You're welcome to hold mine because I ain't pulling it out.
Oh, yeah, I guess just to protect his camera, but we're almost there,
I'll
right?
say, oh, do you need it? I'm going to
Yeah, nah, I've got this folder on it for now. Thank you.
I can hold that over if you need it. I got holding that thing. Yeah.
Connecticut authorized Regiment Connecticut Volunteer Inc. Recruiting for the further. Recruiting for the further. But the need for men to support the war But the need for men to support the war was so great that on June 4, 30, the men, along with the 29th Regiment, and walked with the men in their parade on November 24, 1865. Keep going.
Somewhere back there.
Walk on Main Street to head back to the Connecticut Colored Regiment. On Main Street left is next to it inside.
The left. Everybody act cool. Stop.
Continue walking straight on Main Street. The 28th and 31st Regiments were instrumental to the end of the Civil War, both serving as part of the Richmond-Petersburg campaign. The 29th Regiment was amongst the first to enter the Confederate capital city of Richmond, Virginia, when abandoned by the Confederate Army in April 1865. In his 1867 memo, Sergeant Isaac J. Hill spoke of seeing President Abraham Lincoln alive to survey the devastation. Isaac said he was standing on the bank of James River, viewing the scene of desolation when he saw a boat pulled by 12 sailors come up the stream. Private Hill said it contained President Lincoln and his son. As President Lincoln approached, Private Hill said to a woman, "Madam, there is a man behind you too." On their return to Connecticut in November of 1865, the men became aware that the state had recently voted to leave the word white in the state constitution as a requirement to vote. These men were not yet considered citizens when they enlisted. They were only allowed to live in the state militia once the state was in a bond and made up fully. And now they were being disallowed from voting within the state they represented so well in that. His memoir, Private Isaac J. Hill, speaks of learning this news on November 22, 1865, while the men were in New York. Private Hill said, the boys of the 29th were feeling somewhat indignant in reference to the treatment they received from their state, not giving them their rights. In New York, the men were given parade to the city, but also said the men forgot about it for the moment because of how well the citizens of New York was treated. Keep going.
3 more blocks.
We better get some people out there to play. You guys need to come out. They were a little nervous.
We got about 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, right over here.
Right down that way.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Continue walking straight on Main Street. The Connecticut Colored Regiment arrived in Hartford on November 24, 1865. Here in Connecticut, there was concern that white Americans did not show up to celebrate black soldiers. In an attempt to convince Connecticut citizens to show up, an article appeared in the Hartford Courant that read, 1,400 black soldiers who have gone forth to battle for many white men who have remained at home and abused them and their race. These in line ought to feel proud of their achievements, and loyal men and women will be proud of it. Give them a hearty welcome. Fling the good old flag out and let them feel that the people of Hartford appreciate patriotism in a black man as well. On arrival in Connecticut on November 24, 1865, the men stand standing in Central, the street on the south side of the Connecticut home state, listening to Governor Buckingham celebrate their bravery, while also apologizing to them for the state not giving them their right to vote. The governor said, although Connecticut now denies you privileges which it grants to others, for no other apparent reason than because God has made you individuals and such, justice will not always stand up for us. Be patient and true to yourself. They also looked at their children, General Hardy, and the colonel was coming out from the wilderness. Colonel Wilson said the men deserved more honor because when the only service that they were just $7 a month and it was known that every black soldier had to have a letter with separate pages by day. At the conclusion of the speech, the men were escorted by the Connecticut National Guard and a marching band paraded through the streets of Hartford along the same route you just walked. People cheered as they walked up Main to Pratt Street, turning on Trumbull and Church Street, down Church to Penn, up Andrew Ave, down Main to Buckingham, up Buckingham to Washington, and then up Clark Street. Continue walking straight on Main Street.
Yeah, and all my friends are getting into him now. I'm always dragging my friends out across state lines with the deal. I'm like, what's wrong with you? I don't want to slow you. Oh, I don't want to slow you down. And the 54th Massachusetts Colored Regiment. It was installed directly across the street from the Massachusetts station, and it still stands today. Here today, although the men of the 29th Regiment and the overflow 30th Colored Regiment endured racism that grew up to organize only in federal freedom. The relation between left and right soldiers fought valiantly in the Richmond campaign, and whenever the state denied them the right to vote on the Senate, nothing similar to the monument in Boston. There you go. We hope to change that sometime soon. Not as bad as I can do. See you later. Or tomorrow, actually. You know, that's another hit. Yeah, it will. That's at least you picked on my workout regimen I've been putting on. Oh, okay. Nice to go with it. And this is New York. By the 1880s, it was clear that the public interest was large. Richmond mentioned this. The many together had also to the many of many who gave up their lives on the field of public life. Therefore, in December of 1880, the Connecticut Attorney General completed a meeting of 3 efforts documenting all known Connecticut volunteers in the community from all recent documentation. This work was started at a book in 1889. However, the book is found in many historical documents. It did not seem to reflect the event in an online basis, along with the column-based feelings, stories, thinking, and misconceptions. Therefore, using the 1889 publication, my wife, President, Vice President of the United States Corporation, manually transferred the 3-month program to the Colored and the 31st United States Colored Regiment from the physical book. Having also transferred the list on a non-profit work by the free media, the public group in research and religion in Connecticut Colored Regiment. The South leadership has also been published in the Journal of Slavery and Data Preservation. The data set includes 1,743 youth, including 1,716 youth universities, with 5,000 implications in the promotion and movement of communication. There are 1,238 entries for men of 29 and 407 entries for men of 36. Keep going.
Yeah. Just stop at the light up there.
Who became a leading abolitionist, writer, orator, and statesman. He saw the world fight for freedom and citizenship for black men, believing that if black men took up arms and proved their cause on battlefield, it would force the nation to recognize their humanity and rights. This is much different from what is commonly described as the lead to white Americans in this country. Slavery is viewed as a worthy union, upholding the idea of liberty and self-government, under their belief in the moral rights of the human heart. We do this decision in order to have a truth in the other way.
In God's heaven, or devil's hell, it's your choice. We will not suffer time. We will not submit salvation. Those not the sound for tomorrow, but I know it's not. What is very my brain for?
Route 33W, Hartford.
Y'all wait right here. We're gonna cheer. Hold on. Come on.
But you know when I started drinking hot water?
We did it! Woo! Yes! Woo!
Cheered on, and I commented, nobody's cheering us on. We got it!
This is awesome. There's going to be a reception, so there'll be food and there'll be a couple of other presentations, and then there'll be the raffle. So, and then there's the movie. And the movie.
And the movie's playing right now.
Oh yeah, that's bringing up the action team movie. So come on, we're going to head back here. Good job,
That's good weather for it.
Yeah, I guess everybody wants to be inside and outside.
Yeah. No, back ways. We're helping do the research to establish
Different people have different personalities. That's real.